Aquele está morto.
This is McKillers, and this is my last video in the sniping tutorial videos that I've made today. It is getting late at night because I've been pumping out these commentaries all night to try to get it done. I'm sick of looking at it. I want to get it out of the way and give you guys some content to talk about and discuss and hopefully improve your sniping abilities. I uploaded this specific gameplay because this is the only one that I have that Vic is not involved in. I'm using a different loadout that you've seen before. I'm using Sharpshooter 3, Hawkeye 3 with a flamethrower. And it's on a DLC map with a little bit better competition, so it's going to be a closer game, and it's a grungier game. I'm using, let's talk about why I'm using the flamethrower. I have two classes that I use here on this map. One is the Reviver loadout, which is Reviver 3, Hawkeye 2, Sharpshooter 2 with a hunting rifle. And I use that loadout whenever I think that the team is going to be a little bit closer together. I've played with these people before. I kind of know that they're going to be spread out more. So I'm going to be needed more often for close range fighting. This is a close, there's not a whole lot of, not nearly as much sniping here on this map as, all the DLC maps are a little bit harder to snipe on. I think Bookstore's really good. And by the way, I got onto the fire truck to spot people. And another thing to note, I did not get a headshot this whole game. I spotted people, and Bird was around in the Yukon Trail doing something. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, so I had to run up, and after we killed this first round, I had to haul ass and try to help him out, because I saw he was all alone. So I did what I could there, and we ended up taking the whole team out, and it worked out, so that's good. That's good. That's good. Let's talk about... What was I going to talk about? Okay, if you're going to use this, if you're going to play my style, I highly suggest you use a mic, or you play with people that you know. It's hard to play with randoms. I can give you a few tips to play with randoms, which is really just one main tip. If you're playing with randoms, and I know some of you will, you're going to need them to be aggressive. To play this style, you need them to be aggressive. It's harder to play with a less aggressive team. I think the best illustration I had of that was on the Suburbia map, where you kind of have to lead a little bit more and skip more boxes. That's probably how to play with a passive team, a little bit more of a passive team. But you want to be aggressive so they can form those L's, they can form those C's. Maybe you can get some I's in there. You don't want many I's, you don't want many periods. Just C's and L's all day, baby. But in order to get them to play as aggressive as you'd like, you can almost control your random's aggressiveness sometimes by stealing their executions selectively. And this is bad, whatever, I don't steal my executions, but if they're not running out in front of you, or if they're, not being in places you want them to be, you can steal their executions to make them mad at you, so that way they steal your executions, and by them stealing your executions, they need to play more aggressively, so they need to run out more, which is what you wanted them to do anyways. So all it takes is, say they kill a guy, and it's obviously one of your random kills, and you're all kind of standing there like Dumb and Dumber. Just pull out your hunting rifle and shoot the guy, and the random's going to be like, whoa. But then you're like, well, I left him there. And the rest of the game, you don't have to worry about him sitting around. He's going to kill people for you. He's going to run out like the idiot that you want him to, like I did in downtown, and be a good distraction, because he's going to be trying to kill the people before you can steal them from him. And it works out pretty well. And right here, I get high-fived with a Molotov. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about now, is the late to the party. I have another theory where whoever's late to the party gets the good drinks, I guess. All the alcohol settled to the bottom. I don't know. I think that whenever there is like a big gunfight and a lot of people are down, people that are left alive kind of lose track of who's still alive in the game, because things have happened so fast and it's such a fuckfest. So you can kind of like run in and high-five people with Molotovs if you want to more easily, because you're kind of in a flank because it's such a big cockfight happening in there. And right here, I don't know why this guy didn't die from my flamethrower, because I felt like I just bathed him in fire. But sometimes that's how the lag works in this game. That's okay. Let's talk about balancing. I think that the flamethrower is a little too cheap. I know that there's been some talks about balancing in the game, and I think that the flamethrower should be 3 with the ammo a little bit more expensive. I think I heard that they made the shotgun ammo a little bit cheaper, so maybe that'll help. I don't know. But I think the shotgun should be 4 points, flamethrower should be 3 points, machete should be 3 points. And I think that the military rifle is perfectly... Maybe it could be a little more expensive as far as ammo cost, but yeah, I think it should be 4 points all day, because that instant execution, plus you get the semi-autonomy, the fire rate, damage. I mean, it's really good. Diablo's very cheap. I tried playing with Diablo for a little bit, but I couldn't really fit it in my style much, so I put it away. I know that Armageddon's using one this game, and he uses one almost every game, so it's a good weapon. I mean, it does like 80 damage for the body, so grab yourself a shorty and an El Diablo, and you can have yourself a party, right? Right here we have this is a close game. You're going to see Bird go down, and I think someone on our team got burned. I'm going to get a nice little smoke flamethrower going on late to the party. Late to the party theory working right here, where I get the 2 burn and the revive. So that's good. We have been on this side of the map, I think, a lot of the game. So I'd like to see us move around a little bit more. But I have a lot of parts that I have to do something with, and I'm not going to buy armor because I didn't feel like it at the time. I think I was making sure I had enough parts in case I needed more flamethrower, because I didn't know how many people I wanted to burn that game, because they were just lining up for me. You know, this spot right here, you know, it's like the only really obvious sniper spot in the whole map, but it's not that good. You know, you can't stay up there very often. There's just not cover. Once you're seen, you're dead, man, because there's going to be people shooting at you from so many angles, and plus you take damage on that fall. So, say you're almost dead, and then a lot of times you fall off and you kill yourself on the fall, and you're out in the middle where it's going to be impossible for you to get revived. So maybe only go up there if you have armor. But even then, I feel like every time I go up there, I die almost every time. Maybe I get away with it 25% of the time, 20% of the time. I don't know. Right here, I'm still in M4's execution, but he's not a random. I just felt like being a dick. That's okay. And he gets burned. Bad timing for him.
One to the left, Molotov painted.
He downed the guy. Somebody downed the guy on the left, so that's good. And we have this one guy right here that I'm trying to hope he doesn't see me, even though I don't have covert. I'm trying to be sneaky, using some of the stuff that I tried to teach myself when I played downtown.
Behind the vehicle. Here he is.
But he moves out in the middle, and I think I actually have my flamethrower here, so I'm like hauling ass up there. I'm like, oh, that asshole's gonna burn. And I line up like, oh shit, I have my hunting rifle out. And luckily Armageddon's there to save me with the El Diablo. That was good brotherhood right there. And you're seeing a lot of grungier gameplay here. There's not a lot of formations. I don't think I've seen a C or an I this whole game. It's just people spread out and then rushing in when somebody sees someone, and then it's just a big fireball. That's what it really is. And I think this is the game. This is the type of gameplay that I think Swifty was talking about one of his games.
They're over here by
one
me.
of his videos.
Well,
the whole game is about how many Molotovs you have and how many bombs you have, shotgun and flamethrower. That's just how the game is gotten to. And
I'm following him right now.
It's true. You know, the more I'm playing with it, you know. I tried to incorporate Crafter for a little while.
Yeah, another one rushing in.
But overall, my style just.
I just shipped him.
I don't focus on the boxes as much. So
yeah, I know.
I end up Crafter's not very good for me. It's not very good for the style. I wouldn't put Crafter in there if you're playing like this. Maybe this game I could have gotten away with it, but I like that sharpshooter a lot. And this guy's armor. Oh yeah, one more thing I was going to talk about
They come into play. They come into
was
play.
the overall strategy for this playstyle. Because you have a hunting rifle, and this I think applies to every time anybody has a hunting rifle, is you're going to be more effective earlier in the game. So you're going to start out most aggressive early in the game, and then as the game prolongs, you're kind of going to get more defensive. So most of your kills are going to go early rather than late because more people have armor, more people have more stuff, more people have purchasables that they're going to want to get in your face with. So your bubble's going to be breaking a lot more often later in the game.
You with the fucking
But earlier in the game, people are still trying to feel each other out, and it seems like they're going a little bit slower. Earlier in the game, they don't feel comfortable because they don't have armor. But when someone has, they're armored up with 6 shotgun shells and 2 Molotovs, it's hard to keep them from coming in on you because they're so confident and they're going to murder you. So to defend against that, you really just kind of have to run away or run to your team to double team the guy, or that's where when he gets in, that's when I use a lot of my projectiles. You use them defensively. Like if he gets in, I just hope that I can hit him with a Molotov before he can come in and rape me. So right here I get burned. I burn the guy and he downs me. But my team's here. They're like, we're all spread out. We somehow find a way to come together to get the revive, and I get healed a little bit by Armageddon. He's always got heals, and I think that First Aid 2 isn't great. It's not. First Aid 1 is actually not talked about that much as a good perk, but First Aid 1 is not bad because when you're scrambling, it lets you heal so much faster, and you can just you aren't spending all your time healing. When the guy's in your face, you need to heal quickly with the rifle, and it helps you get your head out really quick, or run if you need to, or just that time it saves you. So it's a lifesaver sometimes. But I haven't used Reviver 1 to really know, but I kind of know with some of the snipers that I've talked to about it that they like to use it. Really, we're wrapping up this game, and we're wrapping up the whole thing. So I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that there's gonna be discussion and happening, and I'll talk to you guys around. Have a good night.
Just a handful of them. Let's finish them off.